So in this segment, we're going to be talking about the Byline Times actually doing good journalism. And I don't mean that as a slight to them, because they do good journalism, but a slight to all the other kind of newspaper, companies, journalists and whatever, for doing a not great job, especially the BBC with all the funds it has. The Byline Times actually going to the port of Dover and talking to lorry drivers and finding out what the specific issues are, which are, not ferries that have been put up for renovation or due to bad weather. The weather in England's been pretty good for January. Really good. It's sunny right now as I'm recording this. And yes, I don't live anywhere near Dover, but we've not heard of any huge, bad weather reports in the English Channel, have we? So it's just ridiculous. 1 minute's weather, another minute's renovations. Like, why would you start ferry renovations now, considering all of the new customs and things like that, where it's all hands on deck? It doesn't make sense. And the Byline Times does a really good job of debunking this. And this isn't the only bit of journalism that they've done in this regard here. They've got a whole other video debunking the BBC, which we'll talk about in another video. But I mean, this is ludicrous, and a massive, massive credit to the Byline Times here. And if you can support them, you should. Honestly, they do very, very good work.
And queues, videos on social media of lorries just waiting to get into Dover.
Look at this. This is insane.
Actually just started covering it in the last few days, but all they've done is quote government officials, government spokespersons from the port of Dover, and what they've said is that this mass queuing of lorries.
A spokesperson for the UK government said it's untrue to suggest that the short-term delays to freight movements at Dover last week were caused by new customs processes. The primary cause was ship refitting, which reduces the capacity across the short straits and the higher than expected freight volumes. But freight volumes haven't actually been that much higher. From what I've read anyways, in previous years, it's not going to be that much higher. So that's a lie. Why are they suddenly refitting a ship now, which is reducing capacity? Why suddenly are they doing it now? Surely they would have done it last year or something, unless this is an emergency. Can you tell us which ships has this happened to? I mean, this is the BBC reality check team as well. Like, maybe they need to have a dose of coffee or something. Like, what is going on here?
Is to do with renovations of a transportation boat. That seems pretty strange. So we started calling up logistics companies, transportation companies, lots and lots of different organisations that deal with, paperwork and actually getting the trucks from Dover to Calais. And for some reason, almost none of them wanted to speak to us. They kept saying, refer to our spokespeople.
Okay, the only reason why these companies, these haulage companies wouldn't want to speak to the Byline Times is they're probably vying for contracts from the government. And so they wouldn't want to alienate the government here, given how petty the government are, because they are really full of people who are just bad human beings, in my opinion. Very, very bad human beings. Not incompetent human beings, just bad, immoral.
Referred to the government spokespeople, and they didn't want to talk about it. But one person did. His name's John. I spoke to him about an hour ago, and we're on our way to see him now. He said that actually this is completely unrelated to weather, completely unrelated to what the government are saying, and it's exclusively to do with new regulations that have come in on the 1st of January this year, a few weeks ago, that have made it really, really, really difficult for lorry drivers to get goods from the UK to Europe. That is what he says is causing all the headaches.
Predominantly, it would be the new, UK customs checks that we've just started implementing this year. That's why there are sudden problems this month. It makes sense.
If that's true, that would completely contradict what the government is saying. That would be crazy. So we're going to go and meet him now, and hopefully maybe he might be able to get us into the port so we can maybe speak to, drivers. Maybe he can let us speak to other port authorities, but he works with customs. That's his job, and let's see what he has to say.
So they're going to play the little...
The rules are now stricter as we go into another stage of Brexit, and it's got much worse.
And let's not forget that this isn't the worst of it. There are still physical inspections that are going to start taking place in July. They're going to make things way, way worse because the UK doesn't have enough vets to do these sorts of checks. These are more problems that are going to come.
What are some of the major issues that have been happening since you could have left the procedure?
Well, it's a lot of time wasting, and it's a lot of more cost, and it's a lot more hassle for us customs agents and forwarders. It's extremely tedious, time-consuming.
Because it's just samey bits of paperwork for like agri-foods predominantly.
And doesn't allow us to get on with our proper work, which is actually moving the goods. that I don't know why, but I used to be able to give interviews right inside what it's called motis, is where you present your papers and then they present them to customs. They're like an intermediary for us agents. But the Harbour Board clamped down on that, on them and on me and others.
Why do you think they did that?
I don't know.
Recently?
Well, about 2 years ago.
About 2 years ago, government been planning for Brexit. Well, they haven't done a very good job of it over the last couple of years, starting the lorry parks in Kent, etc. So that doesn't surprise me they've clamped down on interviews.
Suspicious, eh?
Very suspicious.
Yeah, very suspicious.
Man's a funny man. He's a funny
I'll
man.
show you, because there's two. There's the general customs area. Well, I'm hoping we'll be able to sneak in and speak to a driver. And then there's the actual place where you lodge your papers. I did
Does
see
anyone know the name of this tune? It's quite cool.
a Serbian driver just come in there. With a bit of luck, we should be able to talk to him. Yeah, ali koliko vremena? Yeah, ovo dva
I
sata,
mean, that's a thick boy envelope right there.
skoro ide. Yeah, 2 časa.
I'm gonna say it's probably about 15 odd papers there.
So he usually waits 2 hours for his papers to be returned to him.
He's lucky. 2 hours is not a long time. Especially when you look at how long these other people have been spending in the Port of Dover.
So how long have you been here already?
Since 8 o'clock last night.
8 o'clock last night?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say this is probably early morning. They're videoing this, so I'm assuming this guy's been here, pretty much all night. This might be kind of like 9, 10 o'clock. It looks a bit muggy. I could be wrong, but this gentleman's been here for a while.
It's a long time.
9 hours.
9 hours?
I mean, that's crazy. 9
I've
hours.
just came back from Holland.
Holland, okay. What are you transporting?
It's animal food.
So animal food, that would be, an agri-food. So that's probably why it's taking time. But 9 hours, just sat in a lorry, it's just ridiculous. It's not, it's bad for these drivers, health-wise, mental health-wise. It's just horrible. Imagine being stuck in a confined space like that for 9 hours. That's crazy. And there are worse ones as well.
10 hours.
10 hours.
10 hours?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I mean, he does not look like he slept properly either. He's just sleeping in his lorry. I mean, it's not where you want to be, really. There's no facilities for these people to really go toilet or anything.
And where's the load come from? From Spain?
From France. Salad. In London upload.
Okay, so you're taking a load from France to London. Ridiculous. Because before 1st of January, you just gone straight through. Yeah.
I am waiting here 10 hours.
10 hours.
10 hours?
Yes.
10
10 hours?
time sleep.
Long time?
Yeah, that's yes.
15 hours. Yes, costing and parking.
I have 17 hours advance.
17 hours you've been waiting here because of customs paperwork. Yeah.
I come from Germany and I have 24 hours here.
24
Okay.
hours.
Yeah.
He spent a whole day here, right? No toilet facilities, no shower facilities, stuck in his lorry all day. Like, how much damage is that going to do to a person? Is this gentleman going to want to come back and do more jobs in Great Britain? I don't think so. I think a lot of these drivers, after maybe another few weeks of this, are going to just refuse. They're just going to say, no, I don't want to do it. I want to be sat in my lorry for ages. It's going to be pointless. Unless they get paid, a lot more money because, in my opinion, they deserve it because they are providing a vital service to the UK or to the EU, and they've been stuck in their lorries for ages because of the British government.
You're waiting here.
Yes.
But before the 1st of January, you would have just gone straight through, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous now. Now it's ridiculous.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's a long time. It's 24 hours stay here.
24 hours you've been waiting
Yeah.
here. Dear.
It's terrible. It's terrible in French when crossing in French with the food
Yeah.
is 30 hour, 14 hour.
What, now?
Yeah.
Oh. How long have you been waiting?
I mean, this one's insane. Genuinely, just
How many hours?
Long time.
How many hours?
It's not hours. It's days.
How many days?
4 days.
4 days.
This gentleman's been, stuck because of paperwork for 4 days, like in his lorry cab, whatever they call it, like 4 days, and it's unsustainable, and it's awful on this gentleman here. Honestly, like he's been stuck in that lorry cab for 4 days. Like how? It's just it beggars belief that this is happening. And we're going to talk about the story at some point where a Tory MP jumped out of the minibus or the megabus, wherever they rode in, and straight jumped into feces because these people have nowhere to go to the toilet. It's degrading. It's very degrading for these drivers. There are no facilities for them, not proper ones anyways. They have lorry driver facilities in other countries like France. They look pretty nice. But yeah, this is just absolutely it's shameful. It really is.
Days you've been waiting here because of paperwork.
Yes.
I think we shouldn't have come out of Brexit. You know what I mean? I could be still sat here tomorrow. If there's one little niggly bit ain't right, that's it.
Too much paperwork.
Yeah, that's right, it is. And like a lot of it is the public's going to pay for it in the end of it.
£30 billion, I think it is. That's how much the HMRC system and the custom system costs overall. I think it's about £30 billion. I've covered it in previous videos. It's ridiculously high.
The Brexit is not good for UK, for Europe. Yeah, anyway.
I mean, it's just insane.
So that was insane. Every single one of those drivers that were waiting for hours and days in that port are the same drivers that we saw in those videos of lorries queuing all the way down to Dover. All of them told us this is because of the new paperwork regulations. They all said it was fine basically before January 1st. None of them mentioned the renovated boat that the government keep talking about. They're specifically talking about the government's handling of Brexit, all of the new regulations that have just come in, and the nightmare of paperwork it's causing them. This is insane. This is the first time on camera, really, that people have actually confirmed this since January, since it's come in. This is crazy, but I guess it's what a lot of people expected.
And, massive credit to the Byline Times. They're doing very, very good work. And, a massive, I take issue with the Independent and the Guardian for not doing this work that, a relatively smaller media organisation is doing. It's pretty shocking, to be honest. If the Guardian have put stuff out there, I haven't seen it, which, fair enough, I am one person, but I do try and keep up with the Guardian. The Byline Times have also got a separate video debunking kind of the BBC taglines as well. But the fact is, that this fact check team, I'll have to check out their article properly. But what are the BBC doing? They're blaming the ferry and other things. Like, is this down to one boat being up for renovation, one ferry? I don't think so. The UK, surely, the government should have, leased or purchased or wherever, gotten another ferry or got another, logistics company to help deal with it, because this is going to cause huge problems for the UK. Lorry drivers not wanting to come here, more delays at the border means less food coming across. The UK very dependent on food imports. It's just, I don't know what more to say apart from the simple fact is Highland Times have done great work. These lorry drivers are no mugs. They know what the issues are. They're the ones dealing with it. You got stacks of paperwork. A guy being stuck there for 4 days, and I don't know if he's another person. That lorry driver's another person who's been stuck there for multiple days, because there were stories in the in Bloomberg, and I think the Independent, of lorry drivers being stuck in the port for 4 days. So it could be the same person. If it's not, that is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. But anyways, look, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one.